You're listening to Will County's News Talk Sports, 1340 WJOL. It is time for Money Talk. It's brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. Today, we're going to be talking about teens and money management with a couple of experts. We want to remind you that at the end of the program, we're going to give away a $25 Visa gift card compliments of NuMark Credit Union. How do you win it, you ask? Well, that's easy. Just listen for the next several minutes, and at some point, we're going to give you the answer to the question. So stay tuned right here to Money Talk. And we also want to let you know that you can grow your money your way. NuMark Credit Union gives you flexibility with your Pick Your Term CD special. Earn 5.00 APY for terms 3 to 4 months. Let them help you find a term that fits your needs. Call 815-729-3211 or visit a NuMark office near you. I'd like to welcome live into our WJO studios, and it's nice that these young ladies decided to stop by here today. Normally, we're on the phone, but today, Laurie Veasy, the Vice President of Lending for NuMark Credit Union, live in studios. Hello, Laurie.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it. Yeah, good to see you in person. And Whitney Jones is here, Director of Sales and Service. Whitney joins us in our studio. Hello, Whitney.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for coming in this morning. We appreciate both you ladies for stopping by here today. All right, so before we get into teens and money management, let's talk a little bit about you. We're going to start with you, Whitney, Director of Sales and Service. Tell us about your job. What do you do? This is Career Day. Explain it to everyone.
So essentially, I am, the 30,000-foot individual that helps understand what our members' needs are at NuMark, and then we develop strategies and procedures that surround and complement those needs.
All right.
And then internally, I work directly with our staff on training, coaching, and developing.
How long have you been with NuMark?
This is my fourth year.
Fourth year?
Fourth year,
All right.
yeah.
Okay, so you like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Yes.
You guys all say that. I know you work there and your bosses are probably listening and everything, but I can literally tell when I talk to you, and I had Harry Stewart on last weekend. Y'all know Harry. You guys just really seem to dig the vibe, but you really appreciate what the credit union model is all about.
Yeah, I think our mission is one that probably needs to be broadcasted. It's truly for the people, and we have individuals that work at NuMark that, they're part of that mission and they understand it, so it's a good vibe.
Absolutely, it is. All right, Laurie, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you been with NuMark now?
I've been with NuMark since 2018.
Okay, so you're relatively new as well, 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm new to the job, new to the credit union mission, but definitely embrace it. Helping to enrich the lives of our members is one of the best things that probably has happened to me in my career. I came from corporate America, and working with the community has just really made me excited about life again. So
that's great. It certainly helps when you like your job.
Definitely.
You do a better job at your job when you like your job. All right, so we're going to talk today teens and money management. And moms and dads, maybe grandparents listening here today, and aunts and uncles probably as well. So let's go ahead and talk about our youth and how we can teach them to manage money. And Whitney, we're going to go ahead and start with you here and talk about the importance of it. I don't know what I did, but my son is a money hoarder, which is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, I think the biggest thing is that it reduces stress, right? As an adult, one of the biggest stressors in life is money.
Yeah.
So if we can help our youth really understand and be able to handle situations that come up, in their lifetime, right? We all know that life events are going to occur, but if we can prep them and really help them understand how to resolve those issues when they arise, and give them the confidence, I think that's probably the best way that we can teach them that it's important.
Yeah, I know you're right, because if you probably went out to the mall and talked to 20 adults and asked them what's the most stressful thing in your life, it's money.
Absolutely.
And especially for people that have kids that are coming up through college and stuff like that, I'm lucky I have one more small tuition payment to make. And that takes a lot of stress off my mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it
Yeah,
is.
I think there's a lot of burdens that are involved with money. And if we can just, again, reduce that stress surrounding it, it's better for everyone in the family.
Yep, no doubt. All right, Laurie, let's give some advice, ways we can talk to our children about spending, savings, and earning, because you got to earn before you can save and certainly spend. Yeah, you got it.
Well, I have 4 kids, and so we've always talked about money. We had banking at school with NuMark Credit Union, so they started at a very young age of taking their money to the bank. And I think it's important that we involve our kids when we're doing our day-to-day. So bringing my grandkids over to NuMark and letting them open up their own bank account, figuring out every time they get $1 or $5, you don't have to spend the whole 5. Put a little bit to the side. And then earning money is probably one of the most important things that we teach our kids as young adults, right? So getting that first job and figuring out, what are you going to do? If I make $250 in a week, how much should I put up and how much should I get to spend? So knowing that you can't spend it all at one time and saving for a rainy day is really important.
You have grandkids?
I do.
You don't have grandkids.
4.
You got 4 grandkids?
I've seen them.
Would
Believe
never
it or
have guessed
not.
that you're a grandma. Very good. Good for you. All right, so let's talk about teens that are looking to make their own money. Whitney, what are some things they can do?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here would be to find something that you love to do. I know that sounds cliche, but if you find something you love to do and then kind of research ways in order to turn that into a buck, I think is great. And that might be, they've got to join organizations or talk to family friends, that might be in that industry. But really just finding something that you love to do is the starter point there.
That's right. So if you're a kid that likes sports, maybe ref.
Absolutely.
Or get involved in some way like that.
You
What
got
about
it.
making online? Making money online is a good thing to do also.
Yeah, and I mean, nowadays, everybody wants to be an influencer. There's a lot of gaming that goes on online, and it's a good industry, as long as you're keeping it corralled, I guess.
Absolutely. So, do it cautiously,
Yes.
if you know what I mean. All right, Laurie, as far as motivating our children to make smart money choices, let's lead people down that path.
You've got to make it a routine. So while Saturdays might be my day, for me, I'm, again, taking my grandkids with me so that they can see. The grocery store is probably one important place to start, where groceries have gone up so high, teaching them the value of things, right? So if they love steak, let's see how much steak costs. This is what I'm paying for. Making it fun. Like at NuMark, when the kids come in to bring their money to the bank, they get to go to the vault, open up the vault, and get a prize. So now my grandkids are like, Grandma, when are we going to take my money to the bank? Because it's fun for them. It's something that they enjoy doing. So the only thing that I tell my grandkids is, once you put it in, you can't take it out.
Unless it's a rainy day.
A rainy day.
When you're a kid, there probably has somebody to hold an umbrella over your head, right? I love that. Great idea. Whitney, two-part question here. Credit cards, how old do you have to be to get your first credit card?
18 years old.
18?
Yes.
Okay.
Got to be an adult.
Which is good.
Yes. Well, maybe they should raise that, actually.
They probably should make it 22 or 23.
Yeah, I would agree.
So how does one go about getting one when they turn 18?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we typically require anyone under the age of 21 to come into the branch. We want to physically, see them, talk to them, make sure that we're on the same page with that product. But they can apply at any one of our 13 branches. We have FSRs, which are financial service reps, as well as member service specialists that can help them apply for that.
Okay, so pretty easy.
Yes, absolutely.
Secured a lot of times, credit cards?
Yeah, we can do secured.
Okay.
So our credit card provider actually gives us that opportunity. So, you can be denied for an unsecured credit card, and then we can help you apply for that secured. So that is a great option.
And teens probably shouldn't freak out if they get denied, because you need to have credit, first of all, established. But second of all, sometimes student loans could factor in on your credit score.
Absolutely. And we can come up with a plan of action for that. We're not financial planners per se, but we can help them, come up with a strategy in order to get them where they need to be.
Okay, so 18 for a credit card. What about you have a very ambitious young man or a young woman who wants to get a car? And mom and dad says you can have a car if you get the car yourself. Well, how does a young person get the car themselves?
Yeah, so they do have to be 18 years old again. Okay. And there are certain requirements. There's certain stipulations for, the first-time buyer, just to make sure that we're putting them in a car loan that they can, succeed at. But again, we can help them. Financial service reps are the individuals that help, anyone coming in, but especially that youth coming in.
So they can't go out and buy a big lift package on a GMC Sierra pickup truck.
And why would you want to nowadays? Why would you want to?
All right, so 18 for car loan and credit card, and parents don't necessarily need to come in with them either, right?
They don't have to.
No,
as long as they're 18 years old. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, we're talking today with Whitney Jones from NuMark Credit Union, Director of Sales and Service, and Laurie Veasy is the NuMark Credit Union Vice President of Lending. Coming up just a little bit, going to give away a $25 Visa gift card. Maybe we gave away the question and answer already. Maybe we didn't. Stick around, and if we didn't, we will here shortly. All right, Laurie, biggest mistake teens make when it comes to their finances. What is it?
Buying things that they don't need.
That's the same answer of adults as well, isn't it?
Spending more than they actually make. So that McDonald's check is going to be, again, $250. But the gym shoes that you want are $300. What should you do? You should save. So again, you're putting part of that money in the bank, and you're using part of the money to buy some of the things that you want. I think that social media has played a big part with our kids.
Yep.
Social media, I was talking to Whitney earlier, and we were saying we didn't have all these things factored into our lives. The pressure wasn't there. Everybody wants to be an influencer or a gamer or whatever they want to be, but social media has put so many items in front of their face that they think that they want when they really don't need it, because as parents, we provide pretty much all that they really need, and they try and go and get their want. So making sure that we're buying the things that we need as opposed to all the things that we want as kids.
It's interesting you said that. I was part of a Big Brothers, Big Sisters 2.0 program where we go down and mentor high school students. And I was down at Central, and I had this young man who loved tennis. I call them tennis shoes, gym shoes. Loved Air Jordans, loved all of those things, loved LeBrons and everything. And he couldn't afford them. So what he did was he started an online little shoe company where he bought shoes from people, used, and then sold them. And he started making a lot of money.
What a model. Yeah,
absolutely. It's brilliant. It's just exactly what you were saying earlier, Whitney, is do something you love, you have a passion about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good advice. All right, I'll ask both of you this question. Whitney, I'll start with you.
Sure.
What did you wish you would have known about when managing money when you were a teenager that would have helped you in your 20s?
Compound interest.
Compound interest.
So investment strategies. I went to Lockport, and we did have a business class that I took, but we didn't dive into those, those kind of topics. So I wish I would have known that, because compound interest at 20 years old looks a lot different at 30, 35 years old. So I think it would be great if we actually instituted that in our financial education, because knowing that early can be a difference maker for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
So, compound interest.
All right. What about you, Laurie?
I think I would have liked to have known more about how important it was to again, not overspend. So going away to college and getting the credit cards and then trying to figure out how to pay the credit cards when
Sure.
you're not really working, right?
Right.
So just knowing how important it is that what you do as a young adult is going to follow you as an adult.
Yeah, I know we're focusing on teens today, but I'll throw one in here also. Starting a 401k as soon as possible.
Yes.
I did not for probably the first, well, if you guys would have known I was making here the first 8 or 10 years I worked here, I didn't have no money for a 401k. But I did have 5 or 6 extra bucks laying around that I could have put in, and I did not. And yeah, I didn't start mine up till probably about 7 or 8 years after my professional life started. And that is a big regret. You can start one up for pennies if you want to.
Absolutely.
And that's so important, Scott. And that's funny that you say that, because I remember when I hired one of my first young adults from church, and that was our conversation. I'm like, while we always say we don't have money to save, we won't miss it when we're saving it. And to the young teens that have that job, that first job that's full time, get your investment in your 401k. 'Cause
Right away. Yep. And the college fund also is very important.
Yes.
For those of you that have kids or are going to have kids that eventually think will go to school one day. Okay, resources that NuMark has to help parents, grandparents, or adults get started with talking to their children about money. Laurie, give us some resources.
New Saver Force on the website, and you can start the conversation on saving, spending, and sharing your money. Again, I took my grandbabies to NuMark Credit Union. They got to get their cape and pick their toys out. We start with the teenagers, you saving your money, again, from your jobs or even from your allowances, because now I hear that you get those. I was just cleaning my house for nothing.
Amen. That's right. So NuMark, plenty of different things you can do, and you have all of those programs in person. You can stop by and talk to a personal banker, or you can go to the website newmarkcu.org, right?
You got it.
You got anything closing, Whitney?
I just love being in the studio.
I know.
It's a different feel when
on.
we're gonna have to make the trip every time.
Please
We're
do.
Kitty corner, so it's a quick trip.
Yeah, you guys walk or drive?
We drove.
It's a dangerous intersection. Don't
Yeah.
walk.
And
walk.
it's raining.
I tried to walk one day over to Walgreens, which won't be there much longer, by the way, unfortunately. And yeah, it's a dangerous thing. But no, it's great to see you guys. Thanks for coming in person. I really appreciate it. Much better show, much better vibe. You're right.
Yeah, I
Good
love
job.
it.
Whitney Jones, Laurie Veasy are with NuMark Credit Union, Director of Sales and Service and Vice President of Lending. Ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Scott.
we have some work to do now. I have a tough job to give away a $25 Visa gift card. Compliments of NuMark Credit Union. There were so many different things we discussed during our time together, but here's one I'm going to ask you. One question I'm going to ask you right now. How old do you have to be to get your first car loan? 815-254-7300. That's 815-254-7300. That is the Turk Furniture Studio line. First correct caller gets a $25 Visa gift card. Let's go to the Turk Furniture Studio line. Hi, good morning. You're on WJL Radio. Who am I speaking to?
Ernie.
Hello, Ernie. How are you?
Wonderful. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing fine, Ernie. Thanks a lot. All right, this one's pretty simple, I think, Ernie. How old do you have to be to get your first car loan?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Scott. I've seen that year so many years ago I can barely remember, but 18 would be the number.
Ernie, how old are you, Ernie?
77.
Oh, that's nothing, man. That's nothing. You were, Ernie, if this is Ernie, I think it is, you were in education for a long time, right?
You bet.
In Crest Hill, right, Ernie?
Frankfurt.
Oh, it was in Frankfurt. Okay, I was thinking Cheney, but no, that's right, Frankfurt. I remember that. Well, Ernie, congratulations. In your advanced stage, you got free $25 to spend. How about that?
Hey, you can't beat that.
No, you can't
That's
beat
easy
that.
money.
Easy money. You got it right. So here's what you do. You pick up your gift card at the NuMark Credit Union in Crest Hill at Six Corners. I know you know where that's at.
Yes, do.
All right, Ern. Thanks for calling in, buddy. We appreciate it. This has been another edition of the You Have a Good Weekend as well, or good rest of your work week as well. This edition of Money Talk brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union, where you can grow your money your way. NuMark Credit Union gives you flexibility with your Pick Your Term CD special. Earn 5.00 APY for terms of 3 to 4 months. Let them help you find a term that fits your needs. Call 815-729-3211 or visit a NuMark office near you.